My name is Richard and I live in Spokane, Washington, and this is my 1966 GT, or as I like to call it, my GT Boss. My interest in cars started, I guess, when I was young, growing up in Indianapolis, Indiana, about a mile from the Indy 500, because they also have Indianapolis Raceway Park there, which is a lot of funny cars and dragsters, and I used to go around as a kid and see all the cars and then go to the 500 track to watch the race and the time trials and stuff. So I've always been interested in fast cars, and then once I hit high school it became a little bit more than just an interest. This is what eventually came of all that. This car was actually built in Ohio, but I bought it in northern Indianapolis, Indiana at a dealer. I had it trucked out here and I bought it complete. That way I figured I was a little old to start a project, so I wanted something that I didn't have to do a whole lot of work to. And actually found this car online, the wife did, and we fell in love with it and went back and bought it. As far as building the car, I bought it pretty much as is. It had the original 289 in it, and I wanted to put a little bit of cam in it so it would have a little more deeper rumble. So when the people I took it to took the motor apart, it wasn't quite as good as I'd hoped it would be. So they recommended that I put in a newer 302 with a one-piece rear main seal, and all of the parts can pretty much cross over from the 289 to the 302, and it looks identical. Once the build was done, Castle built the motors, and it now has a roller top end in it and cam. And once it was done, they decided that my exhaust was a little too muffled. So they talked me into going with a tuned exhaust, and it sounds a whole lot better now. Believe it or not, the idea to put in a roller cam to give it a little bit more rumble came from my wife, because she likes to listen to it. And so I didn't want to object, because I like it too. So I had them put in the roller cam, which gives it a lot better sound. And then, like I said, the 2.5-inch exhaust with the tuned exhaust gives it a whole lot more rumble. So it was worth the trouble. Plus, I've got a little bit more power than the 289 now. So, and the first time I drove it, it kind of threw me a little bit, because it's a lot more power than the 289. This car here is what I call a driver's car. It has no power steering, no power brakes. It does have disc front, but drum back. The steering, it's all original. And on the interior, you also have your 4-speed. You have, in my car, what's called the pony package interior, which has the horse embossed on the back of the seats. You have the GT gauges, which are on the column. The one on the left is the tack, the one on the right is the clock, and it keeps great time. This one here had add-on factory air afterwards, which is under the dash. And yes, it still works. And in the engine compartment, you're going to see a rubber bag on the right-hand side of the driver's side of the compartment. That is actually the windshield washer fluid bag. So most people don't know what that is. And but like I said, most of the equipment was original, except for what I've done to the motor and exhaust. The favorite thing about this car right now is it's just, for one, it's mine and paid off. And two, it has, when I decided to do it, I wanted something with a little bit extra. And the roller motor gave it a lot more sound and a lot more power. It already had the headers. It has a 4-barrel, but from the transmission back, it's still all stock. And I've been advised if I get much more power, I got to change that out. So the power I've got is going to do fine. The future of the car, right now I did replace the ignition. It's an MSD electronic ignition. I would like to get fuel injection. That I don't know, and one day I might get it repainted, but if I do, it'll be painted exactly the same color that it is, because red is just everybody's favorite color. The classic car hobby has been around for quite a while. I mean, it probably started right after World War II, back in the late 40s, early 50s. As far as where it's going now, unfortunately, you got to have money to start the investment. Getting cars, at times is easy. If you can do your own mechanical work, that'll cut down on the cost, but parts are still quite expensive. And if you're going to notice, most of the guys with the nice cars are older, retired. I mean, I was 63 when I got my car, so it does take a while to get it, but some people are lucky enough to get it earlier. I'd like to see it continue. I think it's a good way to meet people and get out and just mingle and meet other people in your town, in your neighborhood, and with the same interest that you have, be it a Ford or Chevy or whatever it is.